Right, let's focus now on a Canadian software company, Coveo. It uses AI to power search and e-commerce for businesses. That stock did move up today after the company swung to a profit in its latest quarter. It also announced that the founder and President Laurent Simoneau will take over as CEO from April 1st from the current chairman and CEO, Louis Tetu, who will become the company's full-time executive chair. So Louis Tetu joins us now from Quebec City. Thank you very much. So just remind us, were you a co-founder of Coveo? And tell us about this shuffle.
Morning, Andrew. No, I wasn't a co-founder. I was with a company named Coveo, which I founded, and back then, and I was an angel investor, or the predominant angel investor back in 2008 in the company, and certainly fell in love with Laurent and joined him to build the business when Coveo was bought by Oracle in 2012, and have been working with Laurent ever since, and will continue to do so.
So just remind us what Coveo does. Your software as a service, like just about all software companies these days. But if I run a business, what will you do for me?
Yeah, Coveo is designed for large corporations, and we have a platform so-called named the Coveo AI Relevance platform. And what it does in simple terms is it provides all the intelligence using AI. We started using AI in 2012. All the intelligence behind digital experiences of large brands, large corporations, whether it's to personalize commerce operations and maximize margins in real time. You know, if you have a million consumers a week or even a day for some of our customers, and you have, hundreds of thousands of products to sell, or if you're trying to deliver, personalized content for customer service and drop your call volume in the contact center, that's when you would use Coveo technology. So we've become basically, certainly by the market analysts, recognized as the market leader in digital experience AI. And we do 98% of our revenue outside of Canada, despite the fact that we're a public Canadian company.
98% outside Canada. So you are the kind of company we need, I guess, exporting brain power.
Well, certainly, I'm a big advocate for Canada, and I think we need to adopt more technology and in particular AI. The world, woke up, Andrew, to AI with the launch of ChatGPT, but AI has been in existence for much longer. This is how Uber works, and Shopify and Netflix have worked for almost 2 decades now. But now the world wants AI suddenly, and more importantly is we're entering a period where companies are expecting results from AI. AI has been a bit of a technology in search of problems and a subject for a lot of conversations over the past 2 years. But now companies are turning to AI to really hit the P&L. Increase revenue, reduce costs. We've demonstrated in some instances that we can slash contact center volume by 30%, and we do that sometimes within 90 days with our AI, or increase revenue for commerce online. So these are the kinds of things that make AI a very powerful technology in business.
I'm just looking at your revenue. TD has a buy on you, reckons that your revenue last year was 126 million and will be, excuse me, about 133 million this year. So that's growth of about 6%. It doesn't look spectacular compared to other tech companies.
Right. So first of all, that's US dollars. So at the current run rate, we're at about 195 million Canadian. The market for AI since the launch of ChatGPT has been sort of on a holding pattern. Companies and investors sort of stayed on the sideline a little bit while their IT teams were experimenting with AI and dealing with I would say a lot of learnings and education. If you're in a large enterprise, you worry about, ChatGPT is a fun thing, to write a poem on an iPhone with friends on Saturday evening. If you're in an enterprise, you worry about data, you worry about security, compliance, performance, costs, ROI. It took a bit of time for companies to gain an understanding of that. And so investors have initially flocked to what they could understand, which was the silicon layer. So they bought NVIDIA, and then what we call the Magnificent Seven. So they bought essentially the capacity, but without really understanding where AI would be applied. In the meantime, companies like Coveo have kept delivering with customers. And now what we've announced, are record bookings and record sales in the past quarter in the history of the company, and really a market that is inflecting towards the application of AI, generating, real results. In a way, the businesses we meet are tired to hear about AI. I know it's a bit paradoxical, but they're tired of having conversations about AI for the sake of AI, and they want to apply it, and that's what we do.
Right. They want the actual application. Yeah. So you had a record quarter for bookings, apparently.
That's right. We've announced that, last quarter we had said, we had certainly signaled to the market and to the investors that we were seeing, record high pipelines and greater conversion rates and et cetera. And really, as I said, companies re-engaging into buying mode as opposed to experimenting mode. We've confirmed that, consistent with what we've said over the past year. We've now confirmed that. And yes, what we've announced are record. Our business is about bookings. 95% of Coveo's revenue is what we call SaaS subscription revenues from large corporations, very stable revenue that grows organically, what we call the net expansion rate at 105%. This is 82% gross margin revenue. And so it's a very stable, recurring revenue stream. And so obviously the revenue, because of the future revenue recognition, is recognized in the future, but we certainly can talk about the fact that our bookings, what we call the new subscription bookings, are at an all-time high for the company.
One area I personally think companies could improve their websites. When you do a search on a company's website using the built-in search function, I find it often provides useless results. Presumably companies want to change that.
Right. What happens? What we call relevance, and it's an old concept, but a new area of interest, I would say. Relevance, if I define it in simple terms, Andrew, is essentially it refers to how closely, or the degree to which, when you go on a website, you can deliver content, products, recommendations, or even, in generative AI, you generate advice because people can now ask complex questions. How does that align with Andrew? How does that align with Andrew's context, needs, preferences, behavior, intent? And that's really a science that only AI, a problem that only AI can solve. We often say move from persona to person. So how do you deliver a million different, commerce experiences to a million different consumers? And that's what we do. Suddenly it's becoming a big topic because it's becoming a competitive imperative in the age of AI. And that's why Coveo is so well positioned, because this is what we've been doing for a decade.
Thank you very much, Louis, and all the very best in the new role as well as Executive Chair. I really appreciate it. Louis Tetu.
Thank you very much, man.